Well, y'all, I'm becoming a dirty, dirty whale once again because I will be buying Void Shards like a freaking dumbass. I don't recommend you guys do this. It's not really worth it, but I'm going to be buying them anyways because in my entire time playing this game, and I've played this game a pretty large amount, I have never pulled a Void Legendary. Also, it is a targeted boost for this guy, Chalco the Blind, who seems pretty strong, and I don't even need him. I don't even want him. I just want to hit a legendary. So I'm going to be buying this pack. It just popped up here. 7 voids, 19 voids, about 35 voids. And then we're going to end off with 46 total voids. I'm not going to buy any more. It is purely going to be this pack, and we're going to see what happens. So we're probably not going to get anything, but I got to do it anyway. So let's see what happens. The first pack has been bought. Now we go on to the second pack, which is $40 freaking. Not a smart way to buy this stuff. Here we're gonna go and pay this. This is already a ton of money. Then we're gonna go to $50. This is over $100 for voids, which is crazy. And then we're gonna end off with the $15. This, to my knowledge, at least from what I've looked at, is the best deal I could buy right now. It is not even the big version of that deal, but we have it. Go over to mail, and we have, first of all, 11 ton of gems too. Gems are inherently worth something, even though I mean they're gems at the end of the day. They are something. If you're looking to have one of the strongest possible starts, make sure to click the link in the description to get a free legendary Bambus 4-leaf and one of the best epics in the game to gore as you level up. Now, to make it happen, here are all the steps you need to follow. Number 1, make sure you are logged out of Plarium Play on PC, or you just don't have it installed at all. The next step, you just gotta go into the description, click the link, and register with a brand new email. Once you launch Raid and complete the tutorial, go to the mail, and there sitting will be your free legendary, and the epic will come soon after once you hit level 15. Starts like this in gachas are unheard of. Click my link right now and get the start that you deserve. Now we have 46 voids we will be pulling. First of all, I guess I should say, is Chalco the Blind even someone I want? Attack an enemy twice. Each hit ignores 10% of the target's defense. Will ignore an additional 5% defense for each debuff on the target. Pretty good. Steals 10% of the target's turn meter. That's pretty damn good. 50% chance of repeating the attack against another target, except the additional target who is under 2 or more debuffs. Occurs once per attack. That's a pretty good A1. A2, 4 turn cooldown, attacks an enemy twice. He also doesn't like to read, which is a big plus. First hit places block passive skills and a decreased defense. And the second hit does debuff spread. That's kind of cool. And then takes all debuffs from the target and places them on all enemies. The debuff spread effect will work even though the initial target is killed. Grants an extra turn as it kills an enemy. That's pretty sick, honestly. Attacks all enemies on the A3, 3 turn cooldown before attacking, puts increased accuracy buff on this champion, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs, and places decreased speed. That's pretty damn good. And then also immune to basically all CC effects. Whenever an enemy attempts to place one of these on this champion, it immediately activates Inducer of Panic, his A2, which probably hits pretty hard. Skill against that enemies, doesn't set Inducer of Panic skill on cooldown. Ooh. Increases damage dealt for each debuff placed by this champion or an ally. Damage increase resets each time a skill is used on this champion's turn. Stacks up to 50%. He seems pretty good. I would definitely like him, but anything new is good. Also, this account has no cold heart. This is the main account I play on. It's the one that has 2 mythicals. You know, I do it for content at the end of the day because new channel and shard videos do the best. So that's why I'm doing this mostly. So if you're watching this, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. First epic, and it's Skull Crown. I actually really like Skull Crown. I feel like she's not as good as she used to be, but she is still one of my favorite units. She has unkillable as a passive every time the HP drops below 20% on a cooldown, obviously. Her A2 attacks all enemies, puts out weaken, but her A1 is the main thing. Attacks all enemies and places an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. There's another character called Sinesha, which attacks all enemies and does an extra hit if the target is below 50% HP. So there's a comp called the Blender comp, where you put both of them on a team and one will chunk the beginning or the above 50% HP area or the above 50% HP threshold, and then the other one, Sinesha, will mop up, and it's really cool. I like Skullcrown. I might not use her, maybe I will use her, I don't know, but I like Sinesha. Can we get a Cold Heart though? Cold Heart is honestly the main thing I want to get, apart from any legendary. I don't care what legendary it is. I would like a legendary. This is more money than I want us to be spending. Ooh, Painkeeper, one of the best rares in the game. I need a couple Painkeepers, so that is a W. Moving on to the 10 pulls. We're gonna start immediately with Skyta Shaman, who's pretty damn good, honestly. And I don't know if there's really anything relevant in the rares. Also, the animation is so much slower than Ancient Shards, which is kind of interesting. Skyta Shaman is a support. Void Epic. Attacks all enemies on the A1, heals by 15% of the damage inflicted if this champion is less than 50% HP, boosts this champion's turn meter by 20% instead if he has 50% HP or higher. A2 removes all debuffs from all allies, places block debuffs and revive on death for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown, and the passive is damages this champion by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Heals all allies except this champion equal to half of the champion's current lost HP. Places a 30% decreased speed debuff on this champion for 1 turn at the start of each turn. Also has a chance of placing a fear debuff on this champion. This is weird as hell. I don't know how I feel about this ability, but I've heard she's decent, and remove all debuffs, block debuffs, and revive on death is pretty damn good, especially for factions, which I'm gonna have to focus on soon. We also got Reliquary Tender, who is a relevant rare, but you know, we're just gonna keep on going. Is there anything interesting here? I've never heard of these 2 rares. Doom Screech is okay. Are we really not gonna get an epic? That is painful. This is a 10 pull you do not want to see. We have 2 more 10 pulls. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so not worth it. I'm realizing. Holy. Rock Beast, Ripper Fist, a Chemtum. I've never seen them before. I have to read them. Hey, Cold Heart. There we go. I mean, I'll take more Cold Hearts if the game would like to give me some, but Cold Heart is amazing. Amazing, amazing. Best rare in the game. Always has been. Main thing is the A3. Attack an enemy, scales off of enemy max HP, decreases the target's turn meter by 100%, 4-turn cooldown, has an extra chance of inflicting a critical hit, and she has a 4-hitter and heal reduction, which is amazing. Heal reduction is a little hard to get early on, so that's great. And then a Chemtum, it is not letting me click on it. Okay, there we go. Attacks an enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing poison. If the target is under Hex, each hit also has a chance of applying a debuff spread. Taking 1 random debuff from the target, placing it on all enemies. Decent A1. Attacks all enemies 3 times. Each has a 60% chance, 75 when booked, increasing the duration of any Hex debuffs. If enemy is not under Hex, each hit has a chance of placing Hex onto them. Then we have Hexblood, has a chance of inflicting damage from 1 poison debuff to enemies under a Hex debuff whenever their allies receive damage from poison effects. He seems not bad, honestly. That reads okay. I will take it. But you want to know what else I will take? A legendary. These shard pulls are getting increasingly more depressing. Frenzy the Cackler, cool. Can I get my first legendary ever? Harken Great Blade, don't know what they do. Renegade, good rare, right there. Come on. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen, boys and girls. And we end off with a blue. Yeah, every time I do this, I get reminded why buying shards and gashas is never a good idea. Because, damn. Frenzy the Cackler, defense-based champion, attacks an enemy, has a chance of instantly activating an HP burn. Attacks 3 times at random, each has a chance of placing a HP burn. Fills the champion's turn meter for each HP burn placed by the skill. I mean, 100% for the HP burn, and it attacks 3 times at random. That's pretty good. Attacks all enemies, has a pretty much 100% when booked chance of placing Provoke. AoE Provoke is always good. Also places an increased buff, or increased defense buff, sorry, on this champion for 2 turns. That's pretty damn solid. Passive increases the champion's defense by 2% each time an HP debuff is activated. Stacks up to 20%, resets each round. She seems pretty good, honestly. And then Harken Great Raid, attacks an enemy critical if, or it places an extra hit if it's critical. Attacks an enemy, has a chance of putting weaken. Then we have attacks an enemy, debuff spread, whatever. She's probably mid. Anyways, That was one of the Void Shard summons of all time. Let's go. Overall, am I happy with this? Not really, but I got Cold Heart, which is cool. And I love Cold Heart. She's great. So I'm definitely going to max her. Reliquary Tender, Painkeeper, Renegade I saw at some point are kind of the main highlights here for the rares. And then for the epics, I mean, Skull Crown's pretty cool. Skyditch Shaman is pretty cool. There's a couple solid epics in here. At the end of the day, do I feel like that was a justified purchase? Hell no. I do not. I think that unless you pull a legendary and it's a solid legendary, it's always gonna be kind of a a letdown, and that's what today was. But that's okay. I hope that we pull my first ever Void legendary sometime soon. That is the goal. But anyways, with that out of the way, that's all my summons. I can't do anything else. It's a summoning video and I'm out of summons. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I hope you guys had better luck. Thank you guys for watching. Destin signing out.